Hey everyone, welcome to the BookMattic's Best Book Podcast. Right now we have a special guest, Evan Carmichael, the author of Built to Serve, which I just finished the other day. Now, Evan, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for waking up so early to make this happen.
Yeah, 3 a.m. over here. Not quite used to that, but we had to make this happen today because, you know, I've been following you on social media for quite some time now, mainly Instagram. And if everyone listening here has not followed Evan, I think they should because, like, I've been inspired by his work, especially the posts that you do on Instagram where you show your journey through like subscribers on YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that right there inspires me quite a lot because I just started on my journey on BookMattic probably since 2018, and to see your progress, reaching up to like millions of subscribers on YouTube, inspires me to get out there and inspire others to like read books and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just really cool to see that. um and yeah, so thank you so much for doing what you do, Evan.
Cool,
uh
man. Yeah. I mean, it's been a journey. I think it took 5 years to get, uh, I still was under 10,000 after 5 years subscribers. And then the next 5 years, I went to 2 million. And now we're almost at three. Um, just stay on it. I think for most people, I didn't have a lot of natural talent. I'm shy, introverted, have no need to be famous. And I think that all maybe hurt me in my early days of just trying to make things happen, but I still wanted to do it. And I woke up every day and I made another video and kept putting stuff out there. And if you stay in something long enough and you still, I think the key was focusing on who I was serving instead of who I wasn't. Like if I posted a video and I had 28 people watch, a lot of people see that and say, well, wow, what a crappy video. Only 28 people saw this. I've put so much time and effort. It's like, but that's, I would look at it and say, that's 28 people. If you were to go do a speech at a library and 28 people were sitting in front of you, you'd be really nervous to go and do that.
Mhm.
And so I would always just try to focus on who is watching instead of who isn't. And that gave me just the ongoing courage, motivation, drive to keep making.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, I think that's a big theme throughout your book, Built to Serve. Like you've got the who, you've got the why, and the how. So maybe can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. The idea with Built to Serve is you are built to serve. If you're a human, you're built to serve. You know how good it feels to help somebody. You want to help. We all want to wake up and feel like what we do matters, that it's going to have an impact on somebody else's life. It's baked into us.
Hmm.
But most people don't know how to serve or believe that they can or don't know whom to serve. And so I wrote Built to Serve to guide people through the who, why, how process to figure out how they can best serve. So the who is figuring out your most important core value. For me, it's believe. Did you figure out what yours was?
Yeah, mine is persevere.
Persevere. It makes
Yeah.
sense why you love my statistic of how I did on YouTube
Hmm.
every year, because there was a lot of perseverance to keep going through that.
Yeah.
And so when you figure out your who, it gives you a lot more clarity, a lot more direction, a lot more strength, because it I think is always based off of core values. And if Matt's going to hire somebody, for example, onto his team, it needs to be somebody who also believes in perseverance.
Hmm.
They could have the best video editing techniques or skills in the world, but if they give up as soon as it gets hard, that's just going to drive Matt nuts. It's
Hmm.
like, you need to persevere. Come on, is why we're doing this thing.
Yep.
Um, and so when you figure that out, it gives you just a lot more clarity and direction. So it's 3 steps: who, why, how. So that's you figure out your who. Your why is your purpose, and your purpose comes from your pain.
Hmm.
Whatever you struggled the most with is the thing that you want to help other people through. So I guess, for Matt, at some point, books really helped you
Yeah.
somewhere in your journey, right? It was become uh, maybe not an obsession, but you love helping people now learn how to solve their problems through books.
Mhm.
And for me, I do it a lot through videos, but somewhere in that journey, you really struggled, and a book was the aha moment that saved you, right? I mean, I don't know your story. I'm just
Yeah, I mean,
guessing based on what
you
you're doing.
know, just a little background behind me a little bit. I kind of wanted to open up just a little bit in this episode is like when I was a kid, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and it kind of made me feel dumb and stupid because I was put into like this lower class, and I felt like I didn't belong there. I felt like I had the stronger, capabilities, but it was just a matter of focus. And um, when I discovered the love of books, I discovered that I do have that focus. I do have the ability to learn just like anyone else can learn. And so that was kind of my pain point right there is uh, being insecure, like self-conscious and insecure about my own abilities. And then
Mhm.
realizing that, hey, I'm just like, anyone else. In fact, I can probably learn better than anybody else. So I want to, teach other people those tools to be able to overcome that, overcome that problem of being self-conscious and not being able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So yeah,
We made a video, and thanks for sharing, man. That's
yeah.
awesome. We made a video on our channel maybe about a month ago called the ADHD Advantage,
Hmm.
where we were showing people who legitimately thought that ADHD was a strength and a superpower, not just, oh, I've got this disability and I'm going to be stupid forever and I can't learn as fast as everybody else and I have no circle to belong to. I'm different and an outcast, right? As opposed to saying,
Hmm.
no, this is a superpower that I can use to dive into my dreams and to learn better than other people, right? I think part of
Hmm.
it is just having a role model to look up to, because the doctors aren't telling you it's a superpower. The doctors
Yeah.
are saying, "Oh, well, okay, you've got this condition now, Matt, and here's the drugs that you have to go on, and you're just gonna have this and have to deal with this for the rest of your life." As of saying, "No, you're special, and it's great, and here's why."
Hmm.
So everybody's got some kind of pain in their life. I think a lot of people, the number one question I get asked is, "Hey, how do I find my purpose?" Well, that's easy. Your purpose comes from your pain. Whatever you struggled with the most is the thing that you want to help other people through. And so Matt will love holding the door open for somebody or buying the cup of coffee for somebody else in line. We all have these moments of kind of act of kindness. We know how good that feels. But if somebody came to Matt and said, Matt, I just don't think I can learn, dude. Like, I've got ADHD or I've got something else and I just, learning isn't for me. I feel like a dummy. I don't belong anywhere. And Matt could give them 5 books and those are the unlock for that person. That's going to fill you up on just a whole other level.
Hmm.
And it's a it's so addictive that you'll never want to stop doing that. Matt will be 120 sitting in some old age home still trying to unlock people through books. He'll be the old man with the books everywhere saying, this is the book for you. Even if he can't move his body, he'll still be recommending books because he knows that that's part of his purpose, to help unlock other people. So whatever
Hmm.
you struggled with, there are millions of people who are currently going through that same thing, and they need your guidance, they need your help, they need your support, because somebody who's struggling and learning like that, they won't learn from a Devin Carmichael or Tony Robbins or whoever, but they'll learn from Matt because Matt's been through it.
Hmm.
So that's the why, right? So
Yep.
who, why, and then the how is however you got out of it is what you teach. So you struggled with ADHD and learning disabilities and feel like you didn't belong, which is also partly why you have a community where you're
Right.
trying to engage because you felt like you didn't belong. So now you want to create a place where other people can belong. And what I
Hmm.
love about your community is it's not judgmental. It's not like, oh, you like that book? That's a stupid book. I hate that book. And like getting it, it's a positive, encouraging place where somebody coming to leave a comment on your Instagram, that might be the only positivity that they received that day, because in their life is just negativity and toxicity, and that's just never the place you're going to create, because you want people to feel like they belong, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
um so however you got out of the hole that you are in is the thing that you want to help other people through. That's the how. So we are all built to serve. That's why I called the book Built to Serve. But how do you find out how best to serve? Well, you figure out your who, your most important core value. You figure out your why, which is your purpose, which comes from your pain. And you figure out the how you got out of the hole is what you're going to teach other people to help them as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the
Definitely.
book in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that I did like about your book is it's pretty straightforward. And you've got you've got this whole other layer in the second half of the book, which actually is one of my favorite parts as well, is actually talking about the fast path to freedom. What was the second one?
Partnerships and alliances.
Yeah. Partnerships and
And thought leadership
alliances.
content. And the idea
Yeah.
with the second half is I want to teach people how they can make money off of their purpose as well. Where a lot of people is like, okay, I found my purpose, great, but I don't know how to turn it into something. And so you're constantly stuck having to do your purpose on the side, evenings, weekends, and going to some job that you hate. Instead of you can flip it and actually spend full time on the thing that you love and build it into a business, and then hire a team and have people under you who are also all contributing to your purpose, right? I've got 35 people on my team now. We can get a lot more done than just Evan trying to do everything by himself, evenings and weekends. And so I think a lot of people see money as a negative thing. I think a lot of people are raised to say, money is the root of all, evil, and then it's bad to have money. Money is really, really important. It just can't be number one. It's got to be in your top 5. At least I believe it should be in your top 5 list of priorities. Because even if you're a charity, you need money to sustain and to build and to grow.
True.
But it can't be number one. Your purpose is number one. So no matter how much money you throw at Matt, he's never going to attack somebody. He's never going to trash a book. He's never going to, even if it meant more views or more likes or more comments, to throw his community under the bus and say, ha, you suck. You like that book? He's never going to do it because purpose is number one. But where a lot of people mess up is they either put money number one or they put money just at number 1,000. It's just way too far down on the list. You have to figure out a way to make money. And so I thought I should help people. Let's give them some tactics on how they can actually make money from their purpose. And so that's the whole second half of the book. Is first part is, hey, let's figure out our purpose and what it means to you. And then how can we actually use that to help people and make money at the same time?
Yeah. That's brilliant, because like books that are practical, books that actually bring you step by step through the process are amazing, and your book did that. So yeah, I mean that's fantastic. Another question for you with that though, like for example, someone like me, okay, I've been doing BookMattic stuff for the past 3 years, actually a little bit longer than that, but out in the spotlight for the past 3 years. I launched an online course last year, but I have not really seen many results from that. I haven't really been able to help a whole lot of people through that. So how would you suggest someone with this fantastic ability to help people, whether that's through learning or whether that's through whatever product or service they have, how would you suggest them to go about reaching more people and helping more people and selling more of their service or their product?
Yeah. So for you specifically, I'd be looking at 2 things: direct response ads to your audience. So when they're scrolling through Instagram, they say, hey, if you want to join our community, here's what you get. And the more you build up your Instagram profile and your community, the more people will come in to want to learn more about what you're doing, and they see that as an option. Ads suck in organic content, right? I mean, if you post hey, join my thing, it's barely going to get seen because nobody engages with it. But if you run it as an actual ad, then you can, if you have a business model attached to it, i.e. you're selling a program, then ads can make sense. The second thing is content, but it's content that serves, and you're bringing people in who are part of the community. So for example, one of the things I'll do is we'll do Instagram lives 3 to 7 times a week. And a lot of times what I'll do is have people, I have 2 programs. Movement Makers are designed for people who they're starting up and trying to build their movement as a thought leader. And then Brandlytics is hardcore YouTube, like let's go really blow up your YouTube channel. Movement Makers is more kind of to the masses, like, because I'm just trying to get started. When I do my Instagram lives, I'll often have my Movement Makers students watching. And so I bring them up on stage and we'll answer people's questions. And even though it's never a sales pitch, it's never, hey, you guys need to go join Movement Makers. It's so fantastic. It's the best thing ever. The fact that everybody is in Movement Makers and they're having such a good time and they start talking about it and the results that they got just in the answering the questions helps sell the program. We're doing a Movement Makers next week on Clubhouse, where my goal is service. My goal is community. My goal is to help people. If you think about when you first started 3 years ago, how nervous you would have been to get in front of the camera and say anything, it's embarrassing and the words are stumbling, and you slowly kind of get better with experience. But with Clubhouse, a lot of people are in that same boat where I'm working with a lot of people who are just getting started and haven't found their voice. And if somebody calls on them, their heart's like beating like crazy. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, don't pick me, don't pick me. Oh my God, he picked me. So we're doing a Clubhouse where we bring everybody in who's in my program, and we give them the chance to be on stage and ask them a question. This theme is going to be, what's your advice to your younger self? Something that everybody can kind of come up with something on. The whole purpose is just to help them, to give them some practice on stage in a really comfortable, easy, fun, friendly, everybody supportive environment. But anybody else who's in the room then also learns about my program, Movement Makers, right? So I think you would have a lot of fun doing that, because you're actually just giving more value and helping. So if you've got 5 students in the program, you bring on one of them one at a time and you do a coaching call helping them, or you do a IG live talking about their favorite book, or you do a favorite book. You just find a way to integrate them into your content that's not a sales pitch, but brings value to them and to the audience. And as a natural part of the conversation, it's going to come up that they're part of your program. Like, what is your program called? What's your membership called?
It's called the 6 Principles of Lifelong Learning.
Great. So we just talked about it.
Yeah.
Right. So like anybody who's potentially interested in learning more about you and the, the Matt world. Now, like, I didn't know you had that, Matt. 6 principles. How do I sign up for that? Right. Just the fact that we're talking about it now creates interest, but we're doing it in a non-sales way. It's not, so Matt, tell me about the 8 reasons why everybody today, right now, but wait, there's more. You have to sign up, right? Because I don't think that style is going to really fit you.
Right.
But in the service and the community spirit of things, having people who are part of the 6 Principle program come on and do collaborations with them, it's going to naturally come up and they'll help spread the message. And anybody who's in your community watching who didn't even know you had this thing, now all of a sudden will know that you have it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It sounds more natural when you do it like that. And like my word, my who is persevere. So I think a lot of people, when they're starting out, correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe comment on this if you have something to say. When they're starting out, they feel rushed to succeed, to sell a lot, to help a lot, to get so many followers and stuff like that in a short amount of time. So yeah, but as we know, it takes a whole lot of work, a whole lot of time and perseverance to be able to build up a following and a service and actually sell it. So yeah, do you have anything, suggestions for that, for people to persevere and build up their following or anything like that?
Yeah. So a couple of things. One, remember why you're doing this. Are you doing it just to have 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 followers? Or that's not the reason why you're doing this, because you want to help people. And, in Matt's case, he wants to help people who feel like they don't belong or might have a learning disability. And you can learn and unlock from your own house just by picking up books. So tying back into the purpose, again, can give you the motivation to keep going. 2, look at other people's journeys. It's why I posted my whole journey of showing, hey, in year 1 I had 25 subscribers, and then in year 2 I had 72, and in year 3, or whatever the numbers are, but they're all embarrassingly low, but they're all there. It's like, hey, it took Evan 5 years to even just crack 5 digits, or 6 years. He just kept going. So it's okay. I need to keep going too. And hopefully I can do it faster than 6 years. And then 3, I would again focus on who is watching. The fact that you had 18 people give you a thumbs up or a heart or a like, those are 18 real people. And maybe for them, and I'm sure you've already heard stories from your community. I get it all the time too, of people messaging me. It's like that. I watched a video of yours 4 years ago, and I was having breast cancer surgery, and your videos were the only thing, like this real story. A woman said, she would put on my videos every day. And whenever she was in a really rough spot or felt like giving up, or it's like, it's not working out, her mom would pull out the iPad and say, what's that guy's name again? What's that guy's name again? Evan Carmichael. Okay, play his videos. And that would get her through the pain in the hospital. I mean, but I didn't even know that happened, right? Like, she's telling me 4 years later. We just assume that people are not engaged and are not paying attention because there aren't that many likes coming through on our posts. But if 28 people liked your post, maybe for 5 of them, that's a life-changing message that just hit them at the right time, that then starts them on some crazy adventure in the journey. And they may never tell you about it. So don't just assume that nobody's watching and everything you're doing is garbage. Assume that, hey, this touched somebody's life and I need to keep going.
Amazing stuff, man. Yeah, very inspirational. Good. Well, is there anything else that you would like to add for this episode together? I mean, you've added a whole lot of value to the BookMattic community just by being here, and I'm hoping that people are able to listen to this and share this episode and be inspired by this to continue to persevere. So yeah, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Just that there's a lot of different ways to win. People will look at my comfort in front of the camera. Took a long time to get used to. Talk about perseverance. I've done over 10,000 videos now for YouTube, which is a just crazy number over 12 years. And it took a long time to get comfortable. I was the guy who I couldn't film with my sister in the room. In the early days, I had to have my sister come in, set up the camera, focus me, press record, and then leave because I couldn't film with my sister in the room. And so I think there's a tendency to look at the people who are doing really well, and you see how comfortable they seem to be and how just extroverted and the star of the show. And then you might look in the mirror and say, well, I'm not like that person. So I guess I can't win on social media, and I can't have a voice. And what I found is I struggle with this a lot as an introvert, in that, you know what, introverts still want to serve, right? Like, we still want to help. We still want to feel like the work we do is important and meaningful to somebody. We just don't need the spotlight to be on us all the time. And that took me years to kind of figure out and unravel, because I really struggled with it. Like, well, I guess I can't be successful because I don't look like these people. I don't have their personality or character traits. But no, I want to serve and help. So I have to keep going. And so recognize there's a lot of ways to win. If you're looking at other people in the book community, some people might be very aggressive in salesy, and some people might be very bubbly in personality. There's so many different ways to win. And if you stay silent, then other people who are like you stay silent. But as soon as you come out and say, here's my story and here's how I see the world, all the people who feel the same way can look at you to say, oh, there's a path. Like, if he's doing it, maybe there's hope for me too. And so there's lots of different ways to win. You don't have to go look like somebody else. In fact, if you try that, you'll just be a junior version of somebody else. It's figuring out inside your story, having the courage to share it gives permission for other people to feel like they're normal as well, and somebody else understands them too. So, I'm deeply passionate about having people share their story, and so glad that you shared yours. I don't know if you've talked about that in the past on other videos and stuff, but it's awesome. If somebody who's watching this, who also has ADHD and also feels like they can't learn and they don't belong, now they feel just a little bit more normal.
Yeah.
Okay. because you had the courage to share that. And I think that's the same thing for everybody watching. When you develop the courage to share your story, it's not just about you, it's allowing permission for other people to feel like they belong and they're normal too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Evan. Amazing.
Cool, man. You got a
Great.
lot of energy for 3 a.m. I don't know. I would be on the floor. So thank you for waking up super early and making this happen. And you've got a wonderful community, and appreciate you having me on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Make sure you get yourself a copy of Evan's book and reach out to him or me anytime. And thank you so
And
much.
check out the 6 principles.
Yeah, 6 Principles of Lifelong Learning at BookMattic.com.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Matt.
All right. Thank you so much.